Hey everybody, it's Durgertime. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And we have one more episode of Starrcade before our NWA Legacy season finale, which should be pretty exciting. We still have some character work to do. We still have some things to put into place, but right now the main focus is finalizing this tournament in which we have only 2 matches to do. The plan, if you guys remember from the last episode, is pretty simple. We're going to have the 2 matches for the semifinals on Starrcade. We will have the finals on Legacy, and later that night, after the winners get a bit of a rest, they have to face the NWA Tag Team Champions as their prize for winning the Crockett Cup Tag Tournament. Should be pretty tight, but should be pretty cool. Again, we are still picking through a coin flip, so who knows who will win in the semifinals. Though right now the semifinals do not look that bad. This is kind of almost like what you would want to happen. So the coin's actually kind of been a better booker than me, because I probably wouldn't have picked these, but these look good. So we have the Next Big Things versus Hangman Page and Chase Owens, and then the Best Friends versus the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Again, that's not bad. That's pretty much the higher tier of our tag teams. With the Next Big Things kind of being our new upstarts that we want to give a lot of momentum, anyways. I honestly do not mind if any of these 4 win the finals. Actually, probably the only one I really wouldn't want is actually Hangman Page and Chase Owens. Chase Owens is a very weak tag team player with Hangman, and if that happened, I wouldn't want them to win the belts. So I would probably book them to lose. But that's always boring. I don't always have a grand plan going forward with these. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have a long game. So when I book these, I have some long game plans for some storylines, and others I like to kind of just feel it out and see how it goes. So like I have a very long game plan for the Cult of Josephus, and I have a long game plan for Nick Aldis. Even though you haven't seen him for a while, we have a big game plan for him. And I have a pretty big game plan for the Company Men. But other ones, I feel it out more than anything else to see what their reactions are, how storylines are gaining heat or not, and adapting to that, and what I think is best at the time. So it's kind of a half and half hybrid. That's probably how regular booking works, to be honest. You look at some of the things that people do. WWE, when they book, you could totally tell that they have a 1-year plan for some people, for some things, or at least it seems like that, and other times it just feels like they're to just flip a coin, and see what happens. So maybe we're not that far off from the greats, I guess. Yep, unfortunately, though, our latest headline, which should be number 1 for us, is injury sidelines Brian Pillman Jr. He has a hamstring contusion, which doesn't sound that bad, but he will need to take some time to heal, about 19 days, puts him out for a whole pay-per-view for the most part. Well, they will put him out for a whole pay-per-view, but may even put him out. Actually, he'll be back in time just for the next one at the end of April, so not the end of the world, but he'll definitely miss a bunch of episodes of Starrcade. Show was good all around. Awesome. That's what we want to hear. SmackDown, we still have to fix on the database, but we'll fix that at some point. Yeah, so let's go ahead and, I don't think we have any emails or anything like that, so let's go ahead and just sim over to Starrcade. Hopefully nothing explodes and no one else dies in a plane crash or whatever is going to happen, to our save, because it sure feels like everyone gets injured or, gets sidelined. Hopefully nothing bad happens when I click this button. Okay, let's see here. Week 4, March. Okay, so it looks like we simmed all the way to the show, so nothing bad happened. That's good. Is anything happening going on in the world? Nah, not really. Let's go ahead and Yes, let's take a look at our emails. Yeah, Starcade tonight. Jimmy Jacobs is extending his deal with Impact. That's fine. Cody Rhodes doing work around the world, apparently. An 8 English signing. So we had him as a potential. This bring back the Vaudevillains in the event that he ended up leaving. Because obviously we have Simon Grimm, Simon Gotch. I think we have him named as Simon Gotch on here. But, just on the off chance that maybe he leaves, we could use another tag team, and it would be nice. Hasn't happened yet, though, obviously. So, one thing I want to look at before we go too far, because now I'm getting nervous with Cody's schedule everywhere. All right, Tessa and Viper are now working Tuesdays. How about Monday? Chris Daniels can't work anymore because he's working Dragon Gate. All right, so not too bad. Another reason why we want to trim down that roster a little bit or get some fresher faces is that everyone else seems to... We're working around everyone else's schedule. Makes it hard to book. So maybe having people that don't have those problems will be more beneficial. Let's go ahead and get to Starcade. All right. 73. I think it's improved. I think it was 72% last time. So Raven's a very negative influence right now. I feel like we've got to get rid of him at some point. I almost wonder if I should just have Dustin become the road agent. In the future, after we're done with the Cody and Dustin thing. Like, I kind of want them to be a tag team for a bit too. But obviously we have some storyline stuff, but I feel like Raven's not doing us any favors here. All right. Maybe we'll rib him. See if I can make him happier. Though I have a feeling that Raven doesn't look like a... All right, let's just try it. Well, it's gone down with the rest of the locker room, and he's upset. Well, at least... Listen, he's already upset, so at least everyone else got a little bit of a bonus from it. We're probably going to be at the fair again. Yep, different fair, actually. I think last time we were at the Ada County Fair. This time we're going to be at the West Union State Fair. Where's that at? It's in... Iowa. I'm bad with my state acronyms. About the same price. That's fine. Okay. So, we have two... Well, technically we're going to have three, but for today we have two more coin flips to do. So let's go ahead and do it before we start booking. Bringing up my list here. All right, for match one. Okay. It's not how I would have done it, to be honest, but here we are, I guess. Let me update this here. It's kind of a bummer, actually. But what are you going to do? All right, next one. Huh. Okay. So, interesting. I'm definitely going to say. That could work. Yeah, that could work. Okay. We'll see what the coin says for the last one, but let's go ahead and book it. Be right back. All right. We got full 65 minutes. No warnings, no problems this time. So let's go ahead and run Starcade. So I start off with just a very basic exhibition match. I just wanted to give PJ a win and some time. He was upset the last time he wasn't on Starrcade, and I totally forgot the previous time we just couldn't put him on. So I figured maybe this will be a way to kind of give him a little bit of a rub, maybe make him a little bit happier. Cody Hall debuts as an opener and gets squashed by PJ Black, who gets a win. Got the crowd hotter. It did what it needed to do. Started to show off with a strong start. PJ had a 45. Cody Hall had a 27. And obviously Cody's improving from that. And hopefully PJ's happy with his place, I guess. So he doesn't get annoyed from, not being on. Not much. I don't have much for him right now, but I want to at least give him a bit of a win, and maybe we can sub him into something at some point. We have the first of the semifinals, Hangman Page and Chase Owens versus the Next Big Things. This was kind of my upset, because I kind of wanted the Next Big Things to go further. But ultimately, Hangman Page and Chase Owens win. Get defeated. The Next Big Things get defeated by Hangman Page as he pins Joey Janela by pinfall. Hangman Page is head and shoulders above everyone else. We know that. And then Chase Owens is the weak link again. Chase Owens is at 29. Probably should just get rid of him. It's not working well. They were really hot, which I was surprised that the PJ Black match got them hot, to be honest. So this was a work the crowd, and got penalized for that. I really didn't think that that little squash match would have actually got them hot, but apparently our audience at the fairground are pretty easy to get riled up. Afterwards, we obviously have a angle or just an announcement saying that Hangman Page and Chase Owens will be in the finals. It gets a 70, which is really good. People are excited that Hangman Page is in the finals, and we see that from the rating. And then afterwards, after the announcement, we have a little segment where, similar to the company man, MJF starts arguing with Joey Janela, and it gets pretty fierce, and ultimately MJF pushes him to the ground and walks away. So it may be the end of them tagging. We will have to see, and maybe some animosity brewing between the two. Two very larger-than-life characters, two very big egos, and we will see if this brews into anything or if it simmers down. Does okay. Nothing to be said. Got the crowd hotter, so we're getting a very, very hot crowd right now, which is awesome. And then some people we haven't... Well, one person we haven't seen in a while. Disciple Icarus, our NWA North American champion, in an exhibition match, defeats Kevin Condren. Poor Kevin Conundrum is getting squashed left and right now. He gets the burning wings and gets a pinfall. Oh, Jesus. God. The Durgertime curse continuing. Kevin Condren sustained an L5 S1 disc herniation. So he just got a spinal cord injury. Great. Oh, Jesus Christ. On the plus side, Disciple Icarus looked good out there with a 41. Kevin did not, but also he just got his back exploded, so, what are you going to do there? Jesus. And afterwards, we have Icarus cutting a promo about his belt, saying no one can take it from him, that his only real challenger was Brian Pillman. Now he's injured. Apparently everyone Icarus touches is getting injured. And he says, if you want to fly too close to the sun, then at Legacy, I'm offering an open challenge. The first person to get into this ring can challenge me for this title. And we will not know who will challenge him, but someone will. And we'll see if they can strip it from Icarus. Pillman had tried to reclaim it and failed prior to getting into the Crockett Cup. So we will see what will happen for the person that tries to step into the ring with Icarus. And we have a promo. Actually, it does pretty well. She struggled going off script, but Ronda cuts a promo on Vox, and she basically is responding to Vox's claims. She says, I'm not a part-timer. I'm not what you say I am. I'm not someone just leisurely sitting on the wayside. I'm training every day. I'm training hard. I'm fighting hard. I'm a full-time badass. And basically kind of saying, if you want to get into the ring, I'm going to show you how much this part-timer can do. Kind of taking it a little hard that while she was working her ass off outside of the NWA, that someone like Vox would claim that she wasn't doing anything. So kind of building some animosity there. She wanted to go off script, and I said, go ahead. And she struggled with it, but that's what she wants. And if it could still get a 69, that's fine. I can deal with her being happy, bumbling words. That's no problem. And finally, we have our Best Friends versus Guerrillas of Destiny for the semifinals. It's a good match. The Best Friends defeat GOD in 9 minutes. Trent Brennan defeats Tonga Loa. Should be Tonga Loa. I don't know why it's Roa. By pinfall with a Tornado DDT. This match is actually worse than I thought it would be. Trent and Chuck have a 58. It is overbooked, so that's probably why it got the crowd buzzing. I wanted a good mayhem match. Tonga Toa. Wow, I can't talk today. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa both similarly have a 60-62. I mean, they're pretty evenly matched. Kind of shocked the Best Friends came out a little bit weaker on this end. And Chuck is improving his performance skills. Still not a bad match, but ultimately that leads us then with the Best Friends versus Hangman Page and Chase Owens for the finals at Legacy, and the winner of that will be facing the Colt to try to take the belts. And the favorites, I guess, would be the GOD prior to this, being the former champions. Obviously not getting to reclaim that now. A lot of momentum with the Best Friends. We don't know how this is going to go. If I were to book it, I would want the Best Friends to win. But the coin is booking it, so we won't even know. We don't even know how it's going to go. And obviously we have an announcement where Chuck Taylor and Trent are in the finals, but before the announcement can conclude, GOD ends up viciously assaulting them, really brutally with chairs and beating them up and ripping up the ring and doing a whole bunch of nonsense that you would expect from them. And it gets so bad that the backstage hands have to come in to pull away GOD, and medics actually have to come in and check on Chuck and Trent, with Trent looking very injured and having to be walked backstage. So we will have to see what happens here, but GOD going in sort of this scorched earth policy that if they're not in the finals, then they sure as hell are not going to let the Best Friends take the belts and take the finals, and ultimately get injured prior to their final match in Legacy. And finally, to end the night, we have a really good promo with Dustin hyping up his match. And he's talking in this one about Legacy. I didn't write it down, but basically the short end of it is he's talking about how important this title is in this match at Legacy and how fitting it is that the pay-per-view is called Legacy, because really what it's all about is not about this feud between his brother. It is about the legacy of the belt, the legacy of his father, and cementing himself within that legacy. And says that, ultimately I have this belt, the same belt that my father had, and this is the first true challenge I have to retain it, and I'm going to show the world that I have the legacy that's beyond my father, beyond this belt, and it'll start in the NWA. Apparently, he invented a new catchphrase that will likely boost his ability on a microphone. And it gained heat. All roads lead to mayhem. Storyline gained heat from it. They did not improve, but damn good promo. 85, great way to end the show. 57, not too bad. Again, that final push from that promo really taking us over the edge. Hopefully, Hulu's happy. All right, let's see. I need to see this injury. All right, I don't care about Mark. I don't care about UB. Injured. Oh, man. All right, let's see what we got. Medical, 2 months, 1 week. That sucks. It's a low-risk surgery. Let's go ahead and give him a surgery. It's going to cost a little bit. Complete success. Now we'll be back in 48 days. and can now do angles. Poor guy, man. I tell you, the Durgertime curse is real. At first, I thought it was an NWA curse, but it's following me all around. Oh boy, that's horrible. So we have then in 5 days NWA Legacy with some good matches booked. So we're going to have the finals of the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament. We're going to have Cody versus Dustin. We're going to have Icarus versus a mystery opponent. We're going to have Ronda versus Ashley Vox. Pretty cool stuff. We're probably going to have a North American champion match. We haven't really hyped up at all. But there will be a defense on it. Should be a pretty good show. A lot to cram in 2 hours, that's for sure. But we'll see if we can make it work. And then afterwards, that's sort of the end of our season. And we'll kind of do a season finale, as I said previous show. And what we'll do is try to figure out how to financially make this solvent, maybe trim the roster, change things up. I think we'll get rid of some titles. I think I'm going to get rid of the junior heavyweight title, to be honest. And we'll talk about that. I think if we have the North American, we don't need a junior. And I'd rather have the North American. I think running a junior division, we just don't have enough people for it. X division, we don't need anymore, so we can get rid of it and vacate it. Now that we have the women's, now that Ronda's back. So we got some options here. And obviously we have the Crockett Cup tournament that we will have to crown for the first ever for our show. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you right next time.